Huh?
I am the tips of Christmas past.
Ho, ho, ho. I am the tips of Christmas present.
I am the tips of...
Look out, there's a black woman coming! Ah!
God bless us, everyone.
Okay? I would like to talk about the year that was 2025. Now, we've already talked about this a few times in hangout sessions and stuff recently. But what I really want to do today is just kind of put it to rest, say goodbye 2025, and talk about what went right, what went wrong, stuff like that. Okay? So first off, 2025, okay, last year started off essentially, how can I say, basically really uncertain, right? I would say so, because if you remember in 2024, I did a collaboration with a bunch of drama farmers on the internet. And the reason I did it is because I got wind that they were going to start covering me in depth. And I wanted to get ahead of the ball in this one. Rather than just be sitting around and kind of, being behind it and ignoring it, I said, maybe this is a case where I could actually get ahead of the drama, get ahead of the nonsense. So I worked with these guys for months. We did content, we did collabs, we did all this stuff. But when 2025 started, basically it had already dried up. I mean, I'd only been working with these guys for like 3.5 months, but nothing was really working. I was on their show. It ended up being boring because I'm not a drama guy and I don't give a crap about their stupid lolcow universe that they've created for themselves. So we were brainstorming different kinds of content. And one of the things that we decided to bring back from my past was actually a wrestling commentary show called Smart Guys that I had been running way back when, and I think it was like 2010 or 2011 through like 2014, but then I had retired it. So me getting back into pro wrestling was definitely going to be a pretty risky thing because I hadn't watched it in so many years. I was aware that one of the people who I had collabed with was a pro wrestling fan. To be honest, I think they're actually a bigger pro wrestling fan than I am. They showed up to the show with multiple title belts that they had spent hundreds of dollars on, and I'm like, I would never do that. But the thing was, which became abundantly clear within about a month, it wasn't really about wrestling like I had wanted it to be. This person essentially wanted to try to farm more drama. And obviously it would have benefited me if the show took off, which it did at first. But ultimately, when the show becomes more about drama than wrestling, what's going to happen is you're only going to get a crowd that wants drama. And if you decide to not do it, or if it just doesn't have anything too interesting in a given week, it just doesn't work. So even trying to farm drama from that fan base only worked a few times. And then after that, the show was drying up with attendance and support and all of that. So for those who don't know, watching pro wrestling and doing a show like that, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time investment because pro wrestling has a lot of very long shows and things that are going on. You've got Raw, you've got SmackDown, you've got NXT and the other stuff going on in between. You've got all the pay-per-view events, which really aren't pay-per-views anymore. I forget even what they call them now because they don't call them pay-per-views, but basically it's a lot of time investment and a lot of watching stuff in order to be caught up with everything going on with pro wrestling. And to invest that amount of time just to turn on a stream and only have maybe a couple hundred viewers for a collaborative show. I mean, this is a guy that when he turns on his stream and does drama content, insulting people all day, he gets thousands of viewers. All of a sudden, we're deciding to do pro wrestling and we can only get a couple hundred. I think you can see the difference here, right? And so because of that, it kind of was a stressful time at the beginning of the year. Here I was putting in extra effort, extra time, trying to do this crossover stuff, and it just wasn't really working. At the same time, the audience that I had gained by doing the collabs with these guys had already dwindled because I think people had realized DSP just doesn't do drama content or he just doesn't want to. It's not that I can't. The few times that I've done it, it went well. People found it entertaining. But I've told you guys that's just not the kind of guy that I am. All right? I'm not the kind of guy in the modern day that sits here and actively thinks, who can I insult today? Who can I watch and make fun of? Who can I degrade and bring down and just slander or defame? Who can I step on to get ahead today? Okay? That's not me. Maybe that was me ages ago, 20 years ago, when I was in my 20s and I was a troll in the Street Fighter community. But I have matured and changed as a person. I feel like I'm a better creator and a better guy than making that kind of content now. And to be honest, I've grown up and just don't want to do it. I'm married. I'm happily married with a wife, and I don't need to be causing drama and doing this kind of crap. I think it's beneath me. And quite honestly, it's toxic content on the internet that helps absolutely no one and actually hurts human culture. Now, you might say, oh my God, it's not all that serious. But to me, it is. Like, if all you do every day is you farm toxicity and drama and you hurt people to get ahead, you're actually hurting humanity as a whole. If you didn't exist and didn't make that content, the earth would be a better place. So why would I want to leave a legacy of harmful, toxic crap on this planet? I don't. And it took a lot of soul searching to figure that out, because I was doing well when I was making that content. I was actually making money and getting views. And every day people were coming to the stream saying, who's Phil going to insult today? Who's he going to react to and slam and, bring down? And it was never about that for me, So early on this last year was rough. I was like, man, how am I going to maintain what I'm doing when already I've lost the drama viewers? The collabs I'm trying to do aren't really working. I want to get back on course. I want people to start coming to my streams again for games. In fact, a lot of people who are longtime viewers and fans of mine were actually coming to my streams and saying to me, dude, you've got to get a reality check here. We weren't with you along for this 17-year journey. To see it end with you selling out essentially and becoming one of these drama farmers, that's not who you are, or at least that's not who we thought you are. And if you continue down this path, you're going to lose us. I had really longtime fans and viewers contacting me, telling me this heartfelt messages saying, this is going to be it for us. If you don't change or if you don't course correct, right? So I had to do that. I had to really soul search a bit and decide what I wanted to do. So let me tell you guys, it was not easy to do what I did, to cut ties, to say, I'm just completely done with this and toss these guys off a cliff like I did. All right, it wasn't, because I knew that there was going to be endless amounts of harassment, endless amounts of their fan base who had been coming to watch my content were now going to come to stalk and harass my fan base who were there for games. They were going to basically be on my case all year long. I knew this. I knew exactly what was going to result from all of this, okay? But in truth, all right, I feel like everything went as well as it possibly could have gone. I do feel like, obviously, there was no full positive way for this to go, because I wasn't dealing with positivity. I was dealing with toxicity and negativity, and when you do that, there's going to be a time when things are going to blow up negatively no matter what. Like, I just want to make that abundantly clear. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how popular you are. And it doesn't matter how much money you're making. At one point, if you deal with drama, toxicity, and hurting others, it's going to bite you back. Okay? It's going to blow up in your face. It's going to collapse. And eventually, you're going to end up being the focus of the negative limelight. Okay? Now, I'm used to that because I've been through it for how many years, but I knew that it was probably going to blow back on the content, and it did to some extent. Earlier on, I'd say probably around March, April, and May of last year, a lot of people were like, man, maybe Phil made the wrong choices. But ultimately, if you take a look at the entirety of 2025 and how I was able to then turn that around completely and course correct and become positive again and have it be all about the positive content, gaming, and the like, rather than that toxic crap, I think you'll see that things came out really well by the end of the year. I feel like this was a necessary evil, that doing what I did, sticking my toe in the toxic pit, as they say, needed to be done because it allowed me to be seen in a different light. It really did. Instead of it just being Phil's the guy who gets, yelled at and whipped and he's the meme and everything. Instead, it became, well, maybe some people will actually give Phil a chance to get looked at in a light that's more neutral. And when that happened, all of a sudden, people realized 90% of the stuff that's said about me is nonsense, and the other 10% that's true isn't really bad. It's just baloney, right? It is. It's just things that people hype up literally in order to get popularity for themselves, to get clickbait views, to make money on stolen monetized videos. None of it matters. It's just bullshit. And if anything, in 2025, I want you to think about how much stuff we ditched, right? I want you to think about this. All the mobile game nonsense, the WWE champions bullshit, all that is gone. It doesn't matter anymore. It's all dead. It's dead topics. It's in the past. It doesn't even affect me or apply to me anymore. Okay? How about all the long-running memes about DSP is an ongoing beggar. DSP is someone who's only in it for the money. DSP is all about his goals, and that's all he cares about, right? Well, guess what? There's no more goals. There aren't anymore. It's been over a month. In fact, well over a month now, and I'm not doing goals. We're not trying to hit arbitrary milestones. In fact, when it comes to DSP tries it, when it comes to monthly marathons, we don't have to qualify for them. I just do it just for fun. By the end of 2025, I became the master of my own destiny for the first time in a very long time. Instead of it being all about doing this and hitting this and having to do that, none of that applies anymore. Okay? So, great stuff, right? Absolutely amazing. And I'm just so happy that things have changed for the better. I really have. All right? I'm just very excited. Here's the hilarious part, because people always react to what I say. Someone literally just posted in the Kick Chat. Of course, it's the Kick Chat. They go, Down from the Rafters, which is the account that I used to own in a mobile game. Last active 25 minutes ago. Are you retarded? I've been on camera for 25 minutes and 5 seconds. Duh. I'm not playing the mobile games anymore. I haven't been for a long time. I've been done with them. The fact that you just posted that in the chat proves that I'm not who you say I am, and all your shit is bullshit. Literally. It, like, right there, it says I've been recording for 25 minutes and 33 seconds. I've been broadcasting for 45 minutes, including setting up and chatting with everyone. I'm not sitting here playing mobile games. It's fucking impossible. So what are you talking about, you idiot? And this is the point I'm making. None of this matters anymore. It used to be like the focal point of my existence on the internet is that people would talk about this nonsense. But now it's literally only the content farmers. All right? Literally, that's it. They're the only ones who care, them and their defunct mouth-drooling audiences. That doesn't affect me. It doesn't. More people are giving me a chance to come check me out honestly. Just take a look at the stream and see if you like what you see. And if you do, stick around. And if you don't, that's fine. But at least you give it a shot. Now, I know that I'm never going to blow up and become viral and be a big content creator again like I was back in the day. But at the same time, I have no aspirations to do that. I just want to be me. I just want to chill, have a good time, enjoy games, interact with you, and make a living doing it. That's all I ask. I'm not asking to be rich and famous. I'm not asking for big collabs. I'm not asking to get everything for free and become a millionaire and drive a Lamborghini around Renton, Washington. All I'm saying is I just want to have a nice, safe, solid, enjoyable life and chill with you guys and make a living doing it. I think that's not too much to ask for the amount of time and effort that I've put into this. And you guys have shown me that. Like, basically by the end of 2025, what I saw is that if I stayed the course, I ignored the white noise nonsense, and I just kept doing what I'm good at, that people would see the light. And eventually by the end of the year, with Asmongold getting wind of me, getting harassed by people on the internet, giving me a chance for an interview, and finally allowing me to be seen in a positive light by a new group of people, basically that big kind of shroud that was on my shoulders was lifted. It's almost like I had a cross to bear. All right. And the cross, I was able to drop the cross and say, now we could just move on. And that's exactly what it's been for the last month and a half. Seriously, like, we just don't have to deal with the nonsense anymore. We're good. It literally doesn't matter what people say or do or how toxic or negative they are. As it's outside of this realm of this stream and this content. So who cares? Let them continue to content farm and be miserable, because here's the truth. Those people are miserable. I want you to think about something, all right? Really now, matter-of-factly think about it. If you want something to be clip farmed, this will be what they're going to clip farm, so get ready for this, okay? Every single day, I come to stream. I get to sit down and hang out with an awesome audience of people who are like-minded to me. They like video games. They like chilling. They like hanging out. They like having a good time. I get to enjoy different games every day. Sometimes it's an RPG. Sometimes it's an FPS. Sometimes it's a fighting game. Sometimes it's a puzzle game. Sometimes it's a driving game. Sometimes it's just a chill experience. Whatever it is, it's a good variety of content, so I never get bored. And I get a good audience for each kind of content that I create. Every time that I sit in this chair, I feel refreshed and happy that I get to make content that people care about and depend on every day. People say I'm one of the most dependable content creators out there, and I'm absolutely excited for that. I want people to feel like DSP Gaming is a place you can come just enjoy games at face value and have a good chill time and not have to worry about any of that drama and crap from the outside. Okay, literally, we don't let that drama and crap affect us. Instead, we're just here to chill and have a good time and actually unplug from the drama of the real world when we're here together, right? Now, it's not to say that we ignore it all. If there's gaming news or whatever, we'll cover it and we talk about it. But for the most part, we're just here to enjoy each other's company and have a great positive time. That's what I like. So I want you to think about that environment, all right, where every day we're just here and we're really positive and enjoying everything that we're doing. Now I want you to think about the drama farmers, the content farmers out there. Literally every day, they have to go down into the trenches of the filth of the internet. They have to find a new person that embarrassed themselves. They have to find a new toxic thing that happened. Someone got arrested. Someone exposed themselves on stream. Someone's on drugs. Someone's abusing their kids. I want you to think about those topics. And this is their experience of what they have to do on the internet every day. They're literally in the trenches of garbage, of internet trash, the bottom of the barrel. And this is their existence every single day. Now, they present themselves as if they're above it, but in reality, those kinds of people aren't above anything. If all you do is involve yourself with garbage, guess what you are? Garbage. Because the only way that you can ever get anything positive out of anyone is by making fun of other people on their worst day. If your best day of work is because someone else had a bad day, you're not doing anything meaningful whatsoever to a single person on earth. And if you didn't exist, everything would still continue. I want you to think about this. If tomorrow I decided I would never stream again, there would have been an entire ecosystem of people who would say, Phil's gone. I can't believe it. So I can't watch his content. I can't enjoy it, or I can't make fun of it. I can't clip farm it. I can't drama farm it. An entire ecosystem of thousands, if not tens of thousands, if not even hundreds of thousands of people would say, damn, DSP is gone. Now there's a gap. And that sucks. It's leaving a void in content creation on this planet. If the drama farmer content creators disappeared tomorrow, no one would give a shit because they would say, oh, well, move on to the next. Because they're all disposable. They're all meaningless people. Because all they do is keep generating and propagating this same toxic content. They're a dime a dozen. Anyone can do it. Anyone can be good at it. Anyone can make money doing it. And honestly, doing that is the easy way out when you have no talent. Get it? That's exactly what it is. If you have absolutely nothing positive to offer the planet, you become a toxic drama farmer. And then you make crappy videos about people, degrading them, saying they did things they didn't do, restreaming them and copying their content without legal permission, sitting there and saying that they actually did and said things that never happened, but you spin it for your own purposes so you can get clickbait and morons will throw you money. That's the worst level of content on the internet. And that is something that I am not going to be involved in anymore. I want you to understand that, yes, there was an experiment that had to happen. We had to go through it. We had to grow from it. And I feel like we have. I feel like we've been in the trenches of the slop. We've seen what the slop content is, and we've crawled out. We came out the other end. And there's still all these people in our tail view, our rear view, who are stuck back there, who are going to be stuck there because that's all they can ever do. I said it before and I say it again. Once you put the clown makeup on, you can't ever wash it off. So once you degrade yourself to be that's who you are. You're the drama farmer. You're the person who's a defamatory content creator. You're done. You're now stuck doing that endlessly. And you can never, ever recover. If any of them ever wanted to be a serious creator of any kind, no one would give a crap because they've already degraded themselves to be with the toxic stuff forever. So I'm so happy that I refused to do what I was told. I didn't ditch everything that I loved. I didn't give up and throw in the towel and say, forget games. It's time for drama. This is what's prominent and popular now. Because that's the easy way out for pussies. When you're a coward, when you're a pussy and you have no talent, you give up on what you love. And instead, you just do what's easy and you take the easy paycheck. I've never done that. I've never taken the easy paycheck. I never took the big sponsorship deals. I never took the games for free that I could have back in the day. I could have got so much when I was a prominent YouTuber, and I said no. Because if I do that, I will change as a person. My content will not be genuine. I refuse to play that game. And so many went that route. So many went the route of the shill and the sellout. So I already forewent that path. And then last year, the path presented itself, the route of drama, the route of the content farmer. And I said, I'm not going to do that either. I'm going to march to the beat of my own drum. I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to persevere. It might be hard, and it might be a bloody battle, but I'm going to persevere through all of this crap, and we're going to come out better, stronger, wiser, and overall, I think people will see at the end of the day that this was all for the best. Ladies and gentlemen, today is January 1st, 2026. I'm Darkside Phil Burnell, and I can tell you, it was all for the best. We've done it. We are past all of it, and now we could just move forward positively with games and fun and a great community. As much as the people who are upset because they're stuck back there in the drama slot are with that, it's a harsh reality for them to see. You don't fuck with Darkside Phil because you're never going to win. I'm always going to be here. I am the rocks against which the waves crash, and you may erode me, and I might get older, and I might lose some hair, and I might get gray in the face, and I might get droopy fucking jowls, and I may, have weak knees, and I may have less energy, but I'm still here. It doesn't matter what you say and do. It doesn't affect me. I'm going to be here every day that I want to, for as long as I possibly want to. I'm the one who determines if I turn the stream on and off. I'm the one who determines the content I put out on that stream, and I will be the one to determine the final day that I decide to make content, because I will always be in control, and there's absolutely nothing you can ever do about it, so sit and spin on it. All right, so that's what I got out of 2025. Because I stayed with my own way of thinking, I stuck to my guns, we came out of it in a very positive way. And I'm very happy that we did, and now here we are, and we can now move on for the better this year. Because we've got a lot of good stuff in store this year, trust me. We're going to talk about some of those changes right now, some of the positive things that I have in store for all of you. But before we get there, let's go ahead and let's do some shout outs, because there's been some contributions here that I've been ignoring when I was going through the topic, okay? So, let's go. First of all, we've got Soul at 2 a.m. with a $2 super chat, who says, is that a Portal hoodie? Also, Happy New Year. It is. So, I'm glad that you called it out there, Soul at 2 a.m.